Hi, this is Justin Howard, your host of America's It Girl, and we're here with It Moments, our online after show, where we get to know what's hot and what's not. My special guest today is fashion blogger, stylist, Raven Roberts.
How you doing?
Let's do the snap. Ooh, snap, crackle, and pop.
Yes.
So, darling, tell me about your fashion blog.
My fashion blog is swankstylista.com
Sassy and classy.
and it's all about my fashion and of course this afro.
Tell me, girl, let's talk about LA fashion.
Okay.
I know. Let's all go, How would you define it?
I feel like it's a mix of this new hipster, definitely bohemian, definitely beachy. It's really depending on what part of the city that you're in.
Yeah, because when I think of like LA fashion, I don't think of like one look.
No, definitely
I think
not.
of like everyone wears black hipsters at like Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
Or even when you go to Silver Lake, it's the true hipsters with the thick glasses.
Hipsters, yeah.
Like the dirty hipster type.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Beanies, flannels. I love my flannels though. The flannels, beanies, the glasses.
And then we have
said.
like the hobos. Oh, excuse me. The bohemian chic of Venice Boulevard.
Yes.
And some of those girls look really cute. I love the flower bands. I think they're really fun.
They definitely have that new age hippie look where it's a little bit more polished for some of them, and then some of them just kind of go off the deep end, like you said. They're just like, oh, did you take a shower in the last month? Like, it's just...
You're like, ooh, is that patchouli?
It's very thrifty. It's all about the thrift finds and, you know, looking like you didn't spend a whole lot of money on your flannel that probably cost $100. I'm the queen of thrift finds, but they have to be amazing.
You go to like West Hollywood, you go to like to Melrose, you get everything.
You pretty much do, because there's shops, especially on Melrose, they have every kind of shop that you would want, whether it's rocker chic, the hipster, beachy, bohemian. So everyone goes there to get their really cute, trendy finds for their genre of clothing.
Exactly, there's a little bit something for everyone.
Pretty much.
The relationship between the designer and his model is a truly complex one.
It definitely is.
Well, the designer literally has to be inspired by the model to create something, but the model has a responsibility of actually breathing life into it and wearing it on the runway so that people actually want to buy it.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where a lot of people think that models are just hangers, and then it's just like, oh, we just put the clothes on them and it's like amazing. But if you have the wrong model in the wrong garment for her body or just for her personality, it just falls flat.
Well, you know, in our competition, the girls actually provide all the inspiration to the designer, but the designer has to actually dress them in an outfit that they are comfortable wearing on the runway.
That's so cool.
Because the girls can actually say, no, I don't want to wear that. I do not feel beautiful or comfortable in it.
A model that talks back?
I know.
Where do they do that at? Oh my gosh.
I know, we're training them to be bad.
It has to be the right mix. And I think the designer who did a fantastic job this past season was Zach Posen.
Okay, Zach Posen is literally everybody's it boy.
Yes.
Everybody loves him. And I've seen his dresses. I actually got to interview him when I went into his showroom. And it's amazing because you walk in there and you're like, I just want to wear everything.
Yes, I like stalk his Instagram. It's like, why can't I just have a closet full of Zach Posen to wear to the grocery store? Why is that a problem?
Exactly.
Why is that a problem?
So you were talking about his model.
Yes, Harriet. She was all over his Instagram, his runway, his lookbook. That was his girl for his collection. And she did a phenomenal job. She's worked with huge names in the industry, and I think she was the perfect fit for his latest collection.
Anastasia brought her experience as a style icon to the table, really going over the quality of the pieces presented to her. And one thing I was really surprised at is that a lot of them did not hold up to Hurricane Eye. So one thing I kind of want to talk about is the quality and how important that is in fashion today.
It is so important. I went to Fashion Week this past season. One, how well is it constructed? And two, the choice of fabrics. Either one of those can make or break that one single garment or the collection as a whole.
Well, you know, I will say this. I started out as a costume designer. And so for me, when we made things for the stage, everything had to be impeccable.
Of course.
And when I see runway shows, the first thing I look at is like, oh my God, is that hemline not surged? Is that not weighted down? Like, you know, you look at these things and they really do cause the eye distraction. You look at that unglued seam, you look at that bad lace structure, and you really can't hit the garment. You see that one negative thing.
Yeah. It's very distracting because you're really focused in on the negative parts of the collection versus the positive things. And one of the things that I saw on the runway was there was one designer who had an amazing idea for the garments. The draping was amazing, but the fabric was horrible. And so when I talked to her PR rep, I'm the type of person, I'm gonna give you an honest opinion. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. No, like I was like, look, she needs to change her fabrics. This needs to happen because they're horrible. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna tell her that.
In fashion, they're either plastic to you and they don't tell you what's really going on. But if you want to sell a collection that's truly worthy, you have to get real feedback.
Yeah.
And you know,
definitely do.
Something similar to what you were talking about. I saw this amazing 70s inspired beach denim wear, where the designer had actually gone in and hand distressed and hand dyed each of the denim for his collection.
Yeah.
One of the problems is, you know, when you have big curvy girls, you don't put them in a tight top and slim skinny jeans.
No.
Because they pop out.
Yes.
And you know, when they're walking, especially in high heels when they're not used to it, they look like they're bow-legged, okay?
Yeah.
And that was the one thing that would really pop to me. I was like, after going for a 70s look, Foxy Brown. There are so many different icons, especially women in color.
Yeah.
Because women in color are very curvaceous. And there are so many different elements that you can go to visually to guide you. As an established designer herself, Galina Sobolev, our fashion judge, really asked some tough questions about our potential designers, about their business, and how they were running it. I was actually really surprised about how well they answered it and how knowledgeable they were about like distribution, sourcing fabric. No, it was really good, especially for costume designers and one-off design, which was most of our designers were. But let's really talk about the struggles facing brand new designers.
When you are a new designer, you're not making a lot of money. It's not like
anything.
You know, you have your first collection and all of a sudden it's in Nordstrom's. Like, no, that doesn't happen.
That's like 10 years out.
Yeah.
It's 10 years before you get, even Zach Posen, when he came out, even though we had Kate Moss walk for him when he did his graduate collection, that didn't hit him right away.
Yeah.
It was, he got a big bang and then he had to wait like 5 years before he made it big.
So it's one of those things where you have to, you know, it costs a lot of money to start a good fashion brand. If your investment isn't there, you don't want to just come out with anything just to put out a collection because people are going to remember that. And they're going to
it's your first impression. You only get one first impression.
Only one.
And one thing I always tell people, first of all, find an investor.
Yes, definitely.
And second of all, make sure you pay your rent.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be a starving fashion designer. Because
It's
especially
homeless.
in LA, we have way too many of them.
We definitely do, and that's one of the things where the industry gets very saturated with all of these people who are like, I'm a fashion designer, and it's with everything. I'm a fashion designer, I'm a photographer, I'm a model, I'm a stylist, and you're like, but you're not putting out quality work.
But that's what people see. They see visuals, and especially in our business, it's all about visuals.
It definitely is.
And for me, one of the things I always tell brand new designers, who I'm talking to, if I'm reviewing them on a blog, I'm like, okay, who have you dressed? Let me see your lookbook. And let me really see what it feels like. Let me see your fabric. Let me see your material. Let me see your pieces. And if it's not quality, I'm like, honey.
That's the hard part, is when designers send me clothes, and sometimes I consult with my friends who have brands, and I'm like, this is what you need to do. Like, you can't just think that these things are going to come together. Like, your lookbook needs to look consistent. You can't have
You have to have a central vision.
Yes, yes.
Like, if you're all about flannel, don't do an ultra-modern steel lookbook. Have it be a little bit more earthy and outdoorsy.
Yeah.
You have to really capture it. And one thing that I find that new designers don't know is their audience.
Yeah, they don't. And they just like, oh, I want to dress every woman. But every woman isn't going to buy this. Like, you need to find the woman who's going to buy your clothes. Or the man.
And really define what your market is.
Yes.
And your price point. Don't try to sell silk at, a lower cost because they're not going to go for it.
The price point is the worst because people are like, oh, I want to be this brand, but then my prices are this price. But then in my next collection, they're going to be this. Like, you cannot fluctuate prices.
You have to be consistent across the board because any consumers you get, once you start changing your price point, they'll leave.
Yeah, because you can't have Target prices and then all of a sudden be like, oh, where's Chanel? What just happened? What are you doing? Like, but
unless
people do that.
Of course, you're like Alexander Wang.
I loved one piece in that collection.
Hey, one piece out of this whole new collection.
It was just very sporty. I'm not a sporty girl. It's not me.
I walked in and I was like, ooh, it's Alexander Wang. And I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in a Target.
Everyone was like, oh, the beanie. Can I put a beanie over this? No, because I'm not going to buy it. Like, it's not happening.
No, it's going to ruin your hair.
I know, right? It's going to be all flat. Like, no. So It was just, and it was like boxing gloves. When would I need those? Never.
Yeah, but why are those selling them at H&M? That
I don't even know.
I saw this and they sold out. That was the thing that really got me.
Because everyone, the thing is with people and designers, they're like, it's Alexander Wang, so I need to buy it. Do you? That's the question. Do you
and
really?
Actually, that's the question we're going to end on. Do you? Thank you for being part of It Moments. Don't forget to stay tuned for next week's episode of America's It Girl. This is Justin Howard, your host.
And now for Starlooks beauty tip number 2. How to obtain the perfect color of the year lip, which is orchid, using a Starlooks lipstick and a lip gloss. And the color of the year in 2014 was orchid. Now you can still rock this color even throughout 2015 with style. And here are our signature products to create this signature orchid lip. And I'm gonna hand these off to Donica, and you're gonna see how amazing this color can be worn year-round by any skin tone anywhere. Now at first, Odetta looks a little bit pink, but later on, you'll see with a little bit of the heavier application, it turns a beautiful orchid color with a nice light purpley tinge underneath. And one other color, lip gloss that has a full lavender tint. It's called Lavender Baby. This orchid is really, really popular, and you have your own chance to rock it all throughout 2015. All you have to do is go to starlooks.com and click the featured product, America's It Girl Signature Orchid Lip Set.